As we continue on to page 94 in your record and practice journal now they're giving us a graph and they're asking us to interpret each plotted point in the graph of the proportional relationship. So we're no longer proving they're proportional, that's already given to us in the directions. They just want us to tell what all the different points mean. So as we look at number 5, the graph is titled car, and we're comparing on the x-axis the number of hours, and on the y-axis the distance, the number of miles. So clearly we're talking about how far a car travels in a given time. So the first point here is 0, 0. That should be easy to interpret. 0, 0 means if I don't drive, I don't get anywhere. Makes sense. But now let's look at the other points that may take a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more thought. 160. So remember, the first number is an x. X is down here. That's the number of hours. 60 is over here from the y-axis. That's the number of miles. So that means in 1 hour, I'm going to cover 60 miles of distance. Similarly, when I look at 120, 2 hours for the x, 120 for the y, which means after I've driven for 2 hours, I've covered 120 miles of distance. Now, realize if you're sitting there going, well, that's proportional, those two fractions are equivalent as I write them that way, they should be. It's a proportional relationship. Any point I pick on that line is going to be equal to covering 60 miles in 1 hour. Whether I look at 3 hours and I get 180, or 4 hours and get 240, or wherever I want to go. As we look at number 6, the graph is titled shrimp. Down here on the x-axis, we've got the number of pounds, and over here on the y-axis, we've got the price given to us in dollars. So 0, 0 means if I buy no shrimp, I don't spend anything. But as we look at the other points, they're actually going to have some meaning here. So let's look at 440. 4 is from the x-axis, the number of pounds. 40 is from the y-axis, the amount in dollars. So 440 means that 4 pounds of shrimp are going to cost me $40. And as I look at this other point, 770, again, 7 being from the x-axis labeled pounds, 70 being from the y-axis labeled dollars, that means that 7 pounds of shrimp are going to cost me $70. Now again, you should be realizing the proportional relationship here. If 4 pounds cost me $40, that means that every pound is $10. So it didn't really surprise you when we got to 7 pounds that I was spending $70. Okay, let's keep going because there's a couple more here to look at. Okay, in number 7, we've got email in the chart title, and we're comparing the number of emails and the number of days on the x-axis this time. So obviously this graph is about how many emails I get every day. And so the first point, 0, 0, should be easy to figure. Again, if there's no time, I can't get any emails. The others may take a little bit more thought than that. So as we keep going here, at 3:45, well, the x-axis is the number of days, so that's the 3, and the 45 is the number of emails, that's the y. So that means in 3 days, I get 45 emails. Similarly, as I look at 460, since 4 is an x and 60 is a y, x-axis represent days, that means in 4 days, I get 60 emails. All right, let's come over here and look at this last one. The graph is entitled Blueberry Pie, and on the x-axis, I've got the number of pies represented. On the y-axis, I've got the number of cups of blueberries represented. So this graph is clearly talking about how many cups of blueberries are going to be in each pie or each quantity of pies that I'm going to sell or deliver. So 0, 0 has similar meaning as every other question. If I sell no pies, I don't need any blueberries. It's the others that might take a little bit of thought here. So as we look at 2, 12, we look at the x-axis to know that's the 2, so that's 2 pies. And then we look at the y-axis for the 12, that's clearly the number of cups of blueberries. So 2 pies requires 12 cups of blueberries. Now I'll go look at my other point, the 424. Again, the 4 being from the x-axis, the 24 being from the y-axis, so that's 4 pies requiring 24 cups of blueberries. And again, realize there's a proportional relationship here that was stated to us. So if it's 2 pies is 12 cups of blueberries, or in other words, 1 pie represents 6 cups of blueberries, it didn't surprise you that 4 pies required 24 cups of blueberries.